Okay, so our school transitioned from one-to-one with MacBook Airs to one-to-one with iPad. And when we use code.org, students run into a ton of frustrations. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how to navigate those frustrations so it can be virtually frustration-free. All right, so we're looking at Bubble 2 of the Intro to App Lab. Now, if I look at the instructions, it says drag in a set property. I'm not going to be dragging anything, actually. I'm going to change my screen from show blocks to show text. So I need to click the show text button that is blue on the right side of my screen. Now I can type. And remember, the most important thing is to not touch the screen in your workspace. So I'm going to type in set, and whenever I type set, it shows set property. It suggests it for me. So I'm going to press the tab key on my keyboard. It's a little bit broken. Tab, and it highlights it for me. I'm going to press enter and it will fill it for me. Now, in the instructions it says use the drop downs to set the screen's background color to green, then hit run. Well, after I hit enter, it is showing me a suggestion of screen 1. So I'm going to press enter again and it fills it for me. Now I'm going to press a comma and it's going to give me more suggestions. Now, what did my instructions say? Background color, which is already highlighted, so I'm going to press enter, to green. Let me add my comma, and then I'm going to choose the color green and I'm going to press enter. Now I'm going to make sure I close my parentheses and have a semicolon. It's important to have a semicolon at the end of every line. And then I'm going to hit run, and it works. Finish, and let's move on to the next one. So on Bubble 3, it tells us to have 2 lines of code making label 1 a bigger size and the color blue. So I'm going to start with set property, press tab, and then press enter once it's highlighted. Label 1, enter, comma. I can use the down arrow key because I can't use my fingers, and then font size is highlighted, enter, and then comma, and I'm going to type in the number 80. I'm going to press the over button and I'm going to add a semicolon. Now notice that this number 80 does not have quotation marks around it. That is because it is a number. It's not going to be text. Okay. All right. So I need another set property. I can also press the down button. I don't have to press the tab button. I can press the down button to highlight that set property and then press enter. I still need label 1, comma. I need text color now. Go down, highlight it, enter, comma. I want it blue. Go down, highlight it, enter, add a semicolon, and then run the program, and it's successful. So I'm going to skip ahead to block number 9. Okay. In block number 9, it wants us to add an on event to the program and to set the ID to button 4. We can't drag, so we're going to be using our arrow keys to navigate, okay? So I need an on event at the very bottom. Go to line 12, press enter, start typing on, and the on event shows up. Down arrow key, enter. Now I need button 4. When button 4 is clicked, function, parentheses, open bracket, enter. Play, and play shows up. Down, okay? highlight play sound, press the enter key. Now you see choose is already highlighted. If we were on a computer, we would just click choose, but we can't do that. So choose is highlighted and we're gonna press enter. It's gonna bring up this, and I am actually going to select a duck and I'm gonna say choose. Now I touched the screen, so it's not going to let me, my cursor is not active, so I need to get my cursor back. I'm gonna select show blocks and then show text, and it reactivates my cursor, okay? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a semicolon here on line 15 and a semicolon at the end of line 14. Okay, now in my instructions, add a set property. So I'm going to go up to line 4. I'm going to press enter to move everything down a line. I need a set property, button 4, okay, comma. I can scroll down to find image, comma, and it gives me the choose option again, okay? So I'm gonna go to Google and I'm gonna find a picture of a duck. Once I have that picture, I will save it to my photos, and then I'll come back to code.org and press enter once choose is selected. Upload the photo, okay? Now again, I touched my screen, so I have to go back to show blocks and then show text again to reset my cursor. All right, I need a semicolon at the very end. And the instructions also say, add one more set property to change the button's text. So I'm going to say set property, down, enter, button 4, because I'm changing the button's text, not the label up at the top, comma, text, comma, and I'm going to start a quotation, and I'm going to say duck. I want to make it look just like the others do, and I'm going to add the semicolon. Now I'm going to hit run, and as you can see, everything works exactly how it should. I'm going to hit finish and go on to the next one. Okay, for bubble 11, it wants you to add a right button, but dragging is not possible. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to copy the button. All right, bubble 11 tells us to add a new button. So let me show you a workaround from dragging the button. Select the left button. Okay, you get your properties that come up. It says ID is left button, text is left, exclamation point, the width is 145, etc. You have all of this information, okay? On the right, we're going to choose duplicate. Now, it says button 1. We're going to change that because we want it to say right, okay? Oop, just kidding. Now, it says button 1, but we're going to change it because we want it to say right button. We want the text to be right. We want the width and the height to stay the same, but we want the X position to change. Now, this is where we're using grids. So our X position, you can actually hold out the arrow key and it will move it over. Earlier, I was just typing in a number, guessing about where its location might be. So using the up arrow key to increase that number makes it a lot easier. Okay, so that's pretty good, 164. Y position, I need it to be higher, so I'm going to hit the down button on the Y position to lower that number and raise the Y value. Lower the Y value. And alternatively, I could also just select the left button and see what that Y position is, and then make it the same for my right button. So I want the color to be different, I want it to be reddish, okay? And then moving on to bubble 12. Okay, now we're going to create Okay, on bubble 12, we are going to create a new screen. So up at the top left where it says Start Screen, select that and select New Screen. We're going to title the new screen Right Screen, just the way it tells us to. And then we're going to add a label. The example photo shows a red area that says you went right. And so I'm going to add the text label. And whenever you kind of tap it twice, or I don't know what the secret is, 3 times, once, twice, you can't drag it. We already talked about that. You choose label, zoom out. Label, drag, tap, 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 tap. Oh, got it. Okay, so once we got our label on there, you just kind of have to tap, 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 tap until it works out, okay? I don't have a specific trick for that one. Okay, so we're changing it from label 3 to... Oh, no, we are saying label 3. Okay, the text is going to say, you went right. Now, I want it to look like this example on the right, so I'm going to change the background color to red. Once I start backspacing, I can select the red, and then I'm going to scroll back up and I'm going to start increasing these numbers. And the position. I believe the X position is probably going to be around 15 maybe. And then increasing the width. All right, tab, increase the height. Okay, tab, tab, increase the Y position. So you got to hit the down arrow to get it to move up because we are decreasing the Y value. Tab again. All right, font family, you can change the font family if you choose. Text color needs to be white to make it match the photo. Okay, I believe the hex value is FFFFFF. Okay, and the size is going to be big. All right, the alignment should be center. Right, and that's gonna give us an approximate. You'll hit run. When you click right, nothing happens. If you reset and you go look at the right screen, it shows you what the right screen is gonna look at. Go ahead and click finish and let's move on. Okay, so now whenever we click the right button, we want it to go right. So now whenever we click the right button, we want it to go right. So we're going to select design and then select the right button, and then we're going to select events. Click insert and show code. So when the right button is clicked, and this is going to be very similar, let me reset my cursor. Show blocks, show text. Okay, it's got the left button event up at the top, and now I just want one for the right button. So, set screen. It's giving me options. I'm going to select right screen over semicolon. And, you know, why not have it play a sound? Start typing play sound. Choose. And I like to have a bell. So I got to reset my cursor, show blocks, show text. And now I should be able to add a semicolon there and a semicolon there. Nope, I don't need a semicolon there. Okay, now whenever I run, I can choose left, run, and that's what happens when I select right. So that's how you're going to work around using App Lab on an iPad versus on a computer. It is totally possible. You just have to have patience and endurance.